2022, Judge Atkins and receiver Randazzo have been sued in civil court for violation of civil rights because while he was missing, Judge Atkins issued an order to get his house to be put into storage and for electronics in his home to go for forensic surveillance.
So he filed a civil suit of civil rights violation
Yes.
against the sitting Gwinnett County judge
And the receiver, Joseph Randazzo.
and the receiver for civil rights violation as it relates to his illegal detainment.
Searches and seizure of his property.
So they went into his house
Yes.
without a search warrant.
No, the search warrant.
Well,
Judge Atkins.
well, that's not a search warrant. The judge signed an order to go
Yes,
in.
yes.
So they went into his house, violate his civil rights under the guise of you making these claims against him. Am I correct?
She wanted, because he wasn't running his practice and he was running away and was lying all through the court, she wanted to make sure that any of the electronics, that she wanted electronic surveillance to see what was going on.
So they want to do a forensic analysis of his
Yes.
equipment. Did he, at that point, to your knowledge, did he not want to provide the access to his devices so they can do a forensic?
Yes.
So he did not prevent them, or did he prevent them?
Well, I would say he prevented them by after we went into the house, he had a protest in Gwinnett County.
Actual protest?
After a protest, he brought some friends saying that Judge Atkins was biased and they had taken over his practices. And at that point, the computer forensics were not investigated again. And unfortunate for him, and I looked into the federal court and I realized that few days before bankruptcy, the same day of the bankruptcy, those civil rights were discharged. And post-bankruptcy, Judge Tamila Atkins and Joseph Randazzo sold the buildings post-bankruptcy under Alexander Solo's wishes and left me with a minor child with no alimony, no child support, and my house in bankruptcy to solve the tax debt.
Okay, so I don't know if you want to get into the dollar amount, but if you had to estimate the amount your ex-husband in your assets, because they were your assets as well, because I don't know if you want to get into that area. You believe that there's some fraud that had occurred. If you had to put a dollar amount to what you believe you may have been defrauded, can you give me an estimate dollar amount?
I'm talking about with the assets
Yes.
and the businesses.
Yes.
In Georgia alone,
Yeah.
and out of state is over $10 million.
Okay. And were there properties that contain both your names that were sold without your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And for record purposes, Alex and Sola valued those properties under value in the first trial, but I wasn't bothered because he could keep the properties and I was keeping the house. So you see what I'm saying?
So you didn't have an issue with the properties being undervalued?
I wasn't bothered about the undervalue because I wanted him to pay the taxes with it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was bothered at this point is you have the commercial properties, you pay the taxes, and I'm going to keep the marital home and you give me income.
Okay, but that was granted under the first trial. So
Yes.
you had no issue with that.
I didn't have any issue with that.
So he appealed, or no, he didn't appeal. He filed a motion for a new trial to get you in front of the other judge, which is Judge Atkins, and she unraveled everything that was done in the first trial, which he had the right to have to get a new trial.
Yes.
But there were things that wasn't presented to this judge.
Yes.
So she didn't have all the information to render the decision that ultimately impacted why we're here today?
Well, unknown to the courts, and I'm going to be saying this first online. Once the properties were sold quickly, and Judge Atkins left 10 days before the properties were sold with Judge Hamill, I began to question her integrity. So I refused to be partake on anything. I said, it's post-bankruptcy. What are they doing selling the assets? You're making me homeless. I even wrote her a letter in frustration that the offices are not that operable. All he did was to refill all his patients with medications, to reduce the appointments. And when I went back to work in 2022, the patient agent was behind since 2019. So I had 4 years of bringing the accounts to date. That you can close an office on 60 days, but unknown to me, Dr. Soul was just moving to a shadow company, bringing him back, and he had control over those assets.
So he basically did that to throw the court off, perhaps.
Allegedly.
Right.
File bankruptcy, keep the assets away from the bankruptcy, and they turned in $501,000 from a sale of 3 businesses and 3 properties, of which they gave me $250,000. And Alexander Osawa is sitting in the same businesses as a financial controller and a secretary. And in March 2024, when the trustee was to take over my case, I watched Secretary House. He had the whole businesses back. He was the CEO, the CFO, and the Secretary of Beautiful Family Practice, Community Family Practice, Gwinnett Research, and the buildings. At that point,
So it sounds like he didn't even sell the businesses, or maybe they were kind of commingled in.
I knew from day one because I went to New York during that 2022.
Well, hold on. We don't want to say. Wait, hold on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause this right here. We can't say this on camera. Make sure you follow me on all social media. If you want to reach out to Miss Judy, do you have social media?
Yes.
What's your social media?
Judy, Judy, Oghetuoma, Osowa, Osowa. I'm on Facebook.
All right, we're gonna get the story out there, Miss Judy, but I don't want to give too much online right now because you're about to go into some really deep stuff, and we're gonna hold it right